Alright, so first off, if you hear my washer and dryer, I'm trying to film as the laundry's going, and my filming area is in our living room, and the washer and dryer are right there in the hallway. So I'm sorry if you guys hear that in the background. I'm going to try to talk over it, but I'm pretty sure you guys can still hear it a little bit in the background, so I apologize in advance. But anyways, today's video is going to be another eyeshadow palette tag, and this one is the eyeshadow palette lovers tag, I think it's called, since there was already the eyeshadow palette tag that went around. So I had seen Katie Marie do this video, and I will link her channel down below, as well as the creator of this video. Her name's Angelica. I have no idea how to say her last name, so I'm not even gonna try and butcher it, but both of their channels will be linked down below, as well as two of my friends, since I'm going to be doing this as a collab video as well. And I will be doing a collab with Becca and my friend Janet, also known as Perky Perkins. Their channels and their videos will be linked down below. But when I saw this video, I definitely wanted to do it, but I sent them a message as well asking if they'd like to do it, and they said yes. So I have collabed with them in previous videos. If you guys haven't checked them out from one of those, definitely go check them out now, because they are both such amazing, lovely ladies, and I love them both. Definitely go check them out, and if you guys want to see what my picks are for these questions, then just keep on watching. Alright, so first is a palette I regret that I didn't buy. So this is one that I do not have to physically show you. But for this palette, I would have to say the Melt Cosmetics Muerte palette. It came with, it's two separate palettes, but you could put it together with the Vita palette, I think it is. But the Vita palette didn't call to me as such, even though it was a sugar skull packaging as well. And that's the main reason I wanted the Muerte palette, because anybody who knows me knows that I'm obsessed with skulls. And I would have honestly just bought that for the packaging. But like, the blues were really pretty, it's just so deep. The reds were really pretty as well, and I don't wear reds often, so like when I enjoy the look of a red shadow, that's saying something. But I think it's such a beautiful palette, and the packaging is everything, and like it's discontinued now, so I'm really bummed that I didn't pick it up. I'm gonna be sad about for a long time. Alright, so the next question is a palette that I regret buying. So I don't really have anything in my collection that I don't like and that I fully like regret buying. I do use all my eyeshadow palettes. Some obviously I use more than others, but there's nothing where I'm looking at the palette and I'm like, wow, I wish I didn't buy that. So this category was really difficult, but for this category, I'm just going to go with my Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Optimum palette. I don't know if I'm just not using it with the right base or like the right brushes or whatever it is, but it's not my favorite when it comes to the performance on the eyes. They're not horrible shadows. I use this a lot for my body paints. They're just mediocre. Like, they're not anything to write home about, but they're not horrible shadows where they don't perform either. But I definitely prefer this more for my body paints and shading those than I do on my eyes. So for this category, this is the palette I had to go with, but it's not a horrible palette, so don't think that I don't like this at all. It's just... Alright, so next is a palette I haven't used as much as I thought I would, and this is the Bakery Pandora Box, the Mystery of Beauty collection, and I got this forever ago in Thailand. This could have fit for another category as well, which was the palette I bought because of the packaging, but it's an Alice in Wonderland themed palette, so I love Alice in Wonderland, so that's initially the reason I bought it. But it also came with like a liner, mascara, eyeshadow primer, and some lip gloss. So I had gotten this, and I used it a lot when I had initially gotten it. Oh, and it came with a blush as well. But this palette is all shimmers, so I don't really use it as much right now, but I'm never gonna get rid of this. This was back when I didn't really do too much with like intricate eye looks. Even now I don't do super intricate eye looks, but I would do like a crease shade and like a shimmer shade. With this being all shimmer, I used it a lot then, but I really don't use it as much now. So this is a palette that I used more than I thought I would, and for that one I have to go with the Melt Impulsive palette. And I knew I was gonna get good use out of this because I really do enjoy the colors. But with the mix of matte to shimmer and just like the darker blue purpley shimmers here, I didn't know how much I would actually use it, because one, it's like a shimmery red, and I knew I probably wouldn't use this shade much. But I knew I was going to get a good use out of the neutral shades, the greeny shades, and the shimmers, but I did not expect to use this as much as I thought I would. There was one time where I literally used this for like a week and a half straight. Like, I did not use anything else on my eyes. The yellow and the greens are definitely like my favorite in this palette, But everything in here is just so pretty. They're so pigmented. They blend really nicely. And I could see myself using that even more in the fall just because they are some darker tones. So for half colorful, half neutral, this is where I struggled because there's some where I have a lot of neutrals with a pop of color and then some that are just really colorful with a little bit of neutral in it. But I think my most evenly half and half palette is going to be the Morphe 39A palette. A colorful yet grungy palette, so it's not like super bright colors, which I don't really like super bright on my eyes anyways. So like for me this is the perfect like colorful palette for every day where I'm not doing like a specific character look where I don't need a bright eyeshadow. Because even the blues I have on right now, like yeah, it's bright because it's blue, but it's not like neon pastel super bright blue. This is definitely one I think is the most evenly split half in colorful because you have your neutrals, but you have your greens, your blues, and your reds. And then like with the reds, you got some pinky purple in there. This is the one I'm going with. This is a palette I bought because of the packaging, and if you guys have been on my channel a while, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna know what I'm gonna say. And I know there's controversy with this specific person, but we are talking about the makeup and not the person. It's the Jeffree Star Alien palette, and honestly, in any of my videos where I talk about this, I mainly bought this because of the packaging, because online I did not really care for the color story. I thought it was too cool toned. I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to use those shades, but I wanted it because I love aliens, and it's an alien head, okay? Like, that's why I wanted this. I really enjoyed the color story. I definitely bought it because of the packaging, and I'm so happy I did because it's discontinued now. I enjoy the color story and Jeffree's formula. I don't care what you have to say about Jeffree. We're talking about the makeup and not the person. So a palette that I like the shimmers more than the mattes is going to be my BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. The matte shades aren't bad at all, but the shimmers are a baked formula, and these shimmers are just so insane. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. They're just fantastic, high quality shimmers. I think the BH Baked formula is one of my favorite shimmer formulas aside from the Juvia's Place palettes. And I don't see as much hype about the BH Metallic-y Baked formula, so I wanted to put this one in here instead of the Juvia's Place. But the palette where I like the mattes more than I like the shimmers has got to go to my Ace Beauté Vintage Dawn palette. And I enjoy the shimmers, don't get me wrong, but there are times where I just want to get a shimmer on a brush and pack it on my eyelids. But these shimmers, I just can't pick up on a brush to save my life. I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong. I don't have the right brushes. I don't know. But I can never get these to pick up with a brush nicely at all. Like, it'll be like a sheer wash of color and I'll get like specks of shimmer, but I won't get like a solid shimmer over my lids. So the mattes in this palette, when it comes to using it with brushes, these mattes are so good. And that happily surprised me, and this is the Kaleidos Futurism 3 Astro Pink, and Becca actually sent me this one, and I was so pleasantly surprised with this palette because I've seen stuff about Kaleidos online, but I've never tried them because I really need to try more indie brands. Like, I will admit that I didn't really buy indie brands because there was no way for me to go into Ulta, Sephora, or anywhere to like swatch them. Getting points at Ulta and Sephora versus not getting any points. But this palette really surprised me on the formula. The mattes are really nice in this palette. Like, I've used these three together so many times just to have a quick, simple eye look. Put Kaleidos on my radar for when I'm done with my no-buy because are really good in my opinion. At least this one is. So as long as the other ones are just as good as this one, I might have to pick a couple up. Alright, so lastly is the palette with the most interesting color story, and this has to go to this Happy Makeup palette. This is from Beaky Blender. I had one of their PR searches, which I don't get why it's a PR search when it was just a one-time sending thing. It should have been like, hey, it's just a like giveaway kind of thing, because PR in my opinion is like, hey, we're putting you on a list so you can get our new releases and stuff. But either way, I got this sent from Beaky Blender, and I enjoy the packaging first off because it is Halloween themed, and if you see the mirror, it's so cute. But what I find interesting about this is it's all shimmers with a matte black shadow. So I thought that was interesting because there's no like corresponding matte shade. It's not even a matte transition shade in a palette. So like, I don't know. It's just very interesting to me. These shimmers are really, really good. The black is just, it's okay. Like, it's not very pigmented. So, I mean, it's not horrible, but I find it interesting. I do use this because these shimmers are really, really nice. And if I don't want a super pitch black shadow, I just want to darken things up very slowly but surely, it is a great black to use. So, alright guys, so that was it for my eyeshadow palette lovers tag. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the palettes that I had picked. Again, check out Becca and Janet, link down below. Go give them a subscribe, go watch their video, and I'm really interested to see if we have any similar palettes in these categories or not. And yeah, if you guys want to do this video, I definitely tag you to do it. I will leave a couple other people tagged down below who I specifically want to see do this video. But yeah, with that being said, if you guys like the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the little bell notifications so you guys know every single time that I upload. And yeah, I love you guys and I'll see you in my next video. Baby, honestly, it's harder breathing next to you. I should, but I got an answer picture, tried to